welcome to the pause.
We are so glad to be back with you.
Yeah, it's really great to be back after our 1 week break.
It really is a much-needed break, but I'm ready to get into this.
Same here. So, for today's deep dive, we are exploring a very short, but a profoundly heavy piece of writing.
Right. It's titled, What If Your Brain is Lying to You?
And our mission today is just to sit with that, to really unpack the philosophical weight of it without rushing. We want to explore what this means for you and for your reality.
Just take it slow. Because the ideas here, they demand a certain kind of stillness.
They really do. So I am going to read the opening lines of the text. They go,
Right.
You trust your brain, your memories, your thoughts, your senses.
And we do. We all do.
Right.
I mean, you have to. You just assume that what your eyes are seeing is a live, one-to-one feed of reality.
Yeah, like the ground under your feet right now. You don't question it. You
It's
just
stacked. When you wake up and see the sunlight coming through the window, you don't think, is that really sunlight? Or is that just what my mind is telling me?
It is a baseline assumption of human existence. We have this absolute trust in our senses.
But why do we so rarely question our own thoughts? Or, what we see right in front of us?
Well, I think it would be exhausting,
Utterly paralyzing.
right? Imagine what it would feel like to suddenly doubt the chair you were sitting on, or to genuinely question the memory of what you had for breakfast this morning.
It would feel like the floor dropping out from under you.
Yes, but that is exactly what this text is gently asking us to do, to just look at that absolute trust.
To hold it up to the light.
Because right after establishing that trust, the text hits us with this reality check. It says, but your brain isn't a camera.
Which is such a common analogy we've used.
It is. We think of our eyes as lenses.
Right, and we think of our mind as the hard drive just storing the video files.
But a camera is an entirely passive device.
Exactly. A camera captures everything equally. It doesn't care if it is looking at a beautiful landscape or a blank brick wall. It just lets the light in and objectively records the data.
It doesn't judge. It just records.
Right, but your brain does not do that. It is not an objective recording device.
So we are dealing with this massive gap between perception and reality.
Yes.
If we aren't just recording the world, what are we actually doing?
We're simplifying it. And I think it is really important to understand that this isn't a flaw in our biology. It is a feature.
How so?
Because the world is vastly complex. It is an ocean of noise and light and pressure. If your brain acted like a camera and tried to capture all of that useless noise with equal importance.
You just short circuit.
Exactly. You couldn't function. The simplification is what keeps you alive.
So if your eyes aren't just lenses, and your brain isn't just a hard drive recording everything who's doing the interpreting.
That is the million-dollar question.
The text actually answers this by describing two very active processes. It says, it edits, it predicts.
Let's start with the editing part, because this is happening right now for everyone listening.
Yeah, the brain uses these cognitive shortcuts. It is constantly cropping out irrelevant details.
Right, to protect you from information overload.
So just to ground this for the listener, what is your brain editing out of your reality right at this very second?
It could be the hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen.
Or the feeling of your shoes on your feet.
Right. Until we just mentioned your shoes, you probably couldn't feel them. The physical sensation was there, but your brain edited it out.
It deemed it unimportant to your survival in this exact moment.
It is like having a ruthless film editor inside your head, just cutting out all the boring background footage so you can focus on the main story.
That is a brilliant way to look at it.
Fact.
And then beyond editing out the present, there is the predicting part.
Yes, the text says it predicts.
Unpack that for us, because that feels like a shift from managing the present to anticipating the future.
It absolutely is. Your brain does not wait to see what happens in the world. It doesn't have the time.
So it anticipates what should happen.
Exactly. Based on your past experiences, your brain builds a model of the world and guesses what is coming next.
It's almost like you are always living a fraction of a second in the future.
You have to. Think about walking down a familiar flight of stairs in the dark.
Oh, I know this feeling.
Right. Your brain has already predicted where the next step is. It has prepared your muscles for the drop.
And when you reach the bottom, but your brain thinks there is one more step, your foot just slams into the floor.
Because the prediction was wrong. The illusion breaks for a second. But most of the time, the prediction is right, and you just glide through the world seamlessly.
It makes you wonder, how much of tomorrow are you already predicting today? How many of your interactions are just you playing out a script your brain wrote in advance?
It is a staggering thought.
It really is. And the text goes even deeper into this unconscious construction. It says, it fills in gaps without asking you.
This is where we get into memory.
The unseen gap filler.
Yes. Because, as we said earlier, memories are not video files. You can't just press play.
They're actively reconstructed.
Every single time you remember something, you are painting it anew.
So if a piece is missing, if you can't quite remember the color of the car that drove by or the exact words someone said in an argument,
Your brain just seamlessly patches the hole. It uses context clues to fill in the blanks so the picture makes sense.
and the really wild part is that phrase without asking you.
It is entirely unconscious. You don't get a little warning sign that says a detail has been manufactured. You just experience it as the truth.
I think we need to be careful here, though. This sounds almost alarming, like our own minds are deceiving us.
I am glad you brought that up because it isn't malicious at all. The brain isn't being deceitful.
It is being helpful.
Deeply helpful. A reality full of glitches and missing pieces and blank spots would be terrifying. Your brain is just trying to give you a coherent, stable story to live by.
It prefers a complete, slightly altered story to a broken, perfectly accurate one.
Exactly. It is taking care of you. It is building a floor for you to stand on.
Which brings us to the culmination of the text. The really profound conclusion of all this editing and predicting and gap filling.
The final lines.
I'm going to read this slowly, which means the world you experience might not be reality. It might be your brain's best guess. Pause.
Just letting that hang in the air.
It is a beautiful idea, really. The world we walk through, the colors we see, the memories we hold dear, they are all a masterpiece constructed by this best guess.
A masterpiece is the perfect word for it because it is highly tailored to you.
But it raises a huge question. If reality is just a highly educated guess, does that make our experiences less real?
I don't think so. I think it makes them more uniquely our own.
How do you mean?
If you and I are looking at the exact same sunset, the physical light might be the same. But my brain is editing and predicting based on my lifetime of experiences, and your brain is doing the same based on yours.
So they were literally experiencing two different sunsets.
Yes. Custom-built realities. It doesn't mean the sunset isn't real. It just means your experience of it is entirely yours. No one else can ever experience the world exactly the way you do.
There is so much beauty in that. We don't need to draw some dramatic conclusion about the absolute truth of the universe.
No, we really don't. We just get to marvel at the process.
We get to appreciate the quiet, invisible work our minds are doing every single second, just to let us feel the sun on our face or recognize the voice of a friend.
It is an invitation to be a bit more curious about our own lives.
I love that. To leave a little room for wonder.
And maybe a little room for doubt, too.
Yeah.
In a healthy way.
Right. So we want to leave you, the listener, suspended right here in this thought. We aren't going to tie this up with a neat bow.
The best ideas shouldn't be tied up neatly.
Exactly. So I just want to leave you with one final question to ponder today. If your entire world right now, the room you are in, the ground beneath you, the sounds you are hearing, is just your brain's most beautiful, helpful guess, what else in your life might just be a draft waiting to be re-edited?
Yeah.
You've been listening to The Pause, and we'll be back at 8 a.m. tomorrow.